Safety and copyright information for students and teachers. The world is growing larger and larger within the technology world, which means there needs to be rules and regulations to base ownership on words and thoughts that are being produced and how to keep kids safe while they're viewing and using this technology, regardless if it is keeping students out of danger on the internet or steps that teachers can take to ensure their students are safe and there are responsibilities on all levels. Other responsibilities for a teacher comes with the fair use policies of internet sources, written work, and software usage that teachers need to know if they can use, need to purchase, or if they can copy or not. As more and more information is shared and published and more people are viewing and wanting to use those works, it is necessary as students and teachers to have the responsibility to know how to use that information and what should be viewed and what should not be viewed. One huge concern for parents and school personnel is keeping students safe from the internet. One way to keep the kids safe is to talk to them about different scenarios that could happen on the web and how to take steps to avoid unsafe usage. According to the Safe Kids website, bullying and harassment most often by peers are the most silent threats that minors face. With that said, we do need to have protection set up so that students will not read or view inappropriate images, such as NannyNet. This, like other protection software, helps to filter the information coming into the children's view. According to their website, and I quote, the first exposure to porn is at least 11 years of age, and 1 in 5 children ages 10 to 17 have been approached for sex online. Russ Warner, owner of NetNanny, states, more importantly, maintaining a level of open communication with children is also extremely efficient and helpful. With all the software out there, communication seems to be a key between kids and their parents, and kids and their teachers, and teachers and parents. Teachers have a huge part in how they can keep kids safe in and possibly out of the classroom. One way is walking around the classroom when the students are on the computers. Now you say this must be simple. It is very simple, but it is a very effective tool. If someone is thinking about getting on a site that, or try to get on a site that is not available, or that is not very good for them, just a presence of a teacher coming towards them or really close to them will deter them from that. One of the most important tools in communication is communication and getting to know the student. Not just the student, but getting to know the parents, understanding the background of the student. Where do they come from? What is their home life? Do they have one parent or two parents? Do they have same-sex parents? All those different things are so important in the dynamics of how a student is going to be in your classroom. Also, knowing how the classmates interact with each other. It all helps to keep children safe. If there are changes in a child's behavior, or certain kids that used to hang out really heavily are not hanging out so much anymore, that could also be seen as, that could also maybe be that they are possibly being bullied, either physically or on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. Dr. Downshin comment to adults on the Kids Healthy website says, take an active role in kids' internet activities, meaning pay attention. What are they doing? Obviously, communication is a huge piece in keeping children safe. Another one is a contract signed by the student, the teacher, and the parent. Now you say, this is also something very simple that we can do, and it is, but it creates guidelines, it creates just structure and responsibility on all three people's parts. Teachers can have the rules posted in the classroom. They also need to talk about the contract and then send it home, and hopefully parents and students are talking about it and then signing it with their student. This contract has to do with setting internet safety rules, and having the students and teachers sign the contract and parents is so important. These can be found at NetSmart's website and also many other websites. Some of the rules posted on the NetSmart's website are telling a trusted adult if anything makes a student feel sad or scared or confused, again, communication. That they will not share information with people they don't know, such as their address, where they live, a telephone number, where they're going. Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, they all are, oh, what's going on now? What's going on now? Well, sometimes you don't want to post exactly what's going on and exactly where you are. Also, don't meet strangers face to face. If you don't know them, maybe they shouldn't be your friend on Facebook, or maybe they shouldn't be following you on Instagram. And never, never meet someone face to face if you don't know them. So those are things that we can talk about keeping our children safe. And not being the biggest and most simple rule, not being mean or rude to people online. That can get way out of control, and other people can feed into it, and if you just don't start being mean, you don't have to worry about it. These are great rules that teachers can post in their classrooms, and this website has many more materials that can be used to educate teachers, students, and even parents. And I did find a couple that I thought would help in our household. Now, with this website comes the conversation of what information is to be bought, borrowed, and not copied. With the students on the computer comes legal rights for the teachers. This, for most people, is a very, very gray area. The subject has to do with when a teacher can use information and when they have to buy it. Teachers are also responsible for how students use their information. And ways to educate those students are how to cite their sources, how to use the information correctly, and how not to plagiarize researched information that they are doing. Teachers play a huge role in how a student can see information and how to use it. Another is usage by teachers. This subject has to do when a teacher can use information and when they have to buy it. According to Copyright Crash Course website, fair use is better described as a shadowy territory whose boundaries are disputed, more so now that it includes cyberspace than ever before. The easiest way to think about it is the 10% rule. Using any more than 10% of information needs to be then purchased. Also, another way to remember is that if it is published before December 31st, 1922, it's free to use. Anything between January 1st, 1923 and December 31st, 1970 are copyrighted for 95 years. Anything after is protected for 70 years. And again, remember the 10% rule. If you are using 10% of someone's information, you need to cite it. You need to make sure that you buy it. Anything that is more than 10% needs to have a responsibility to that of giving either the person credit or not copying the information and actually purchasing the information. There are a lot more rules, but but they seem to be overlooked, sometimes due to teachers just having status. If it's being used in an educational way, people tend to look the other way. But no matter what the computer is used for, there comes a responsibility to anyone that accesses it to do the right thing by all participating parties.